Welcome to the first episode of the Talkin Tuskens podcast. My name's Zach Weiss. I'm a big Tusken Raider fan. I'm joined by, he's a big Star Wars fan himself.
My name's Michael, and like you said, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
All right. Since this is the first episode of the Talkin Tuskens podcast, tell you what we're all about. We're going to go over Star Wars news and eventually talk about a certain Star Wars subject. And let's just get right into it, Michael.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. First story of the day. Force Awakens Deja Vu. Did Rogue One pre-sales crash online ticket servers tonight? That was on Deadline Hollywood. Hollywood reports. Quote, if you were buying advanced tickets to Disney's Rogue One, A Star Wars Story tonight, you may have waited 20 to 30 minutes before your purchase was complete. Or, worst case scenario, you were timed out. See image below. Advanced sales for Rogue One began at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time and 9:01 p.m. Pacific Time. So that was Monday of tonight when we were recording. So if you don't have your tickets already, I guess you're out of luck because a lot of the stuff that a lot of the tickets were out when I was looking at it earlier. So we don't have our tickets yet.
Nah, hopefully I can get one.
I think we're gonna get some at the door. I'm not as worried about it because it is.
If you wait 3 weeks, you're gonna find something.
I would be worried about it if it was Force Awakens because 7 p.m. time for Force Awakens, like that was really hard to get for me.
Oh yeah, Jesus. But it's a Star Wars movie. It's gonna be crowded anyway.
Yeah. Rogue One, I'm not so worried about though because it's not the first time that Star Wars has been around in the theaters in 10 years or whatever. So that's interesting. When I went online last night to get my tickets, they timed me out just like the article said. So not a big deal, whatever. But would have been nice to,
would have been really nice if they just said, "Hey Zach, here's a few tickets."
Yeah, it would have been nice if I got it for free. So, all right, next story. This comes from MakingStarWars.net, France. Oh, we're making Star Wars. Star Wars. Okay. Making Star Wars says, quote, it's official. After questioning him on Twitter, Pablo Hidalgo, member of story group at Lucasfilm, confirms the duration of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. So it's about 2 hours and 13 minutes, according to Pablo Hidalgo. And for context, Force Awakens, or as the article says in French, The Force Wake.
The Force Wake.
The Force Wake.
Oh, the Force Wake.
Was 2 hours and 15 minutes, so it's about the same.
That's 2 whole minutes.
Yeah. So that will be released in France in 17 days. So you can get your baguettes, you can get your...
get your hats,
get
your French hats.
Escargot. Do you think they eat popcorn in France?
It's probably too loud for them.
Yeah, you think so?
They probably just eat old crusty bread with butter in theaters.
Yeah, maybe. That's possible. All right. So the next story is also from Pablo Hidalgo. Pablo Hidalgo, if you don't know, I can't say his name. Pablo Hidalgo. Jesus Christ. Pablo Hidalgo, he is the Lucasfilm story group. He's part of it. Good guy. Funny guy. I like all his stuff. Anyways.
He's a cool guy. Okay.
He talked about a potential spin-off of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Would it be animated or was it?
Yeah, it's going to be an animated thing. I don't think you've seen this episode, but there was an episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars where a bunch of younglings became like Jedi, and they were learning to use a lightsaber and stuff like that. David Tennant was in it. It was pretty cool. But as he says here, it was going to be like a whole series, and apparently George Lucas, he ordered a whole season of it while he was in the process of selling the rights to Disney. So.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
See how that goes then.
I can't imagine. Well, that's not going to happen now. It's done so.
Oh, got cut.
Yeah. But that was going to be the plan before Disney bought the rights to it. But I can't imagine that fans would be very happy about that. I mean, I like the one episode, but Star Wars fans don't like kids in Star Wars movies, so not sure how that would work. Anyways.
Well, guess that's why Anakin killed him off in episode 3.
Yeah, you're damn right.
It's just fan service, people.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, Los Angeles Daily News met with Mads Mikkelsen, and talk to him a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he talks a little bit about his character in Rogue One, which is pretty interesting. So I'll put a link to that in the description of this video so you can check that out yourself. And then up next, we got the first picture of Bail Organa. Jimmy Smits, old Jimmy Smits. Old
That's
Jimmy
him, that's
Smits in
Bail.
Rogue One. Yeah, that's him.
Ooh.
We got Bail.
He's got Bail.
We got Bail on deck. What do you think of this? You a fan of Bail Organa, old Bail, old Jimmy Schmitz?
I think yeah, that's a good Bail.
It's a good Bail.
Out of all the Bails, I'd say that's in my top 3.
That's a top 3.
That's a top 3.
That's a tier.
Maybe
that's
top,
a tier 1 Bail.
Maybe my second
saying.
favorite, but
yeah. What's your favorite Bail?
Bail from Star Wars.
That's all right.
Well, the other Star Wars.
Let's get to the next story. All right. Oh shit! Don't want to look at that. That was the Rogue One mega thread. There was a guy who saw 30 minutes of Star Wars Rogue One as it is in theaters. I'm not going to read that. It kind of gets into spoilers and it doesn't reveal too much. It's just sort of like what the characters are about. But you can go check that out on the Star Wars Reddit if you want. And then next we have an article from EW, Entertainment Weekly, and they talked to they talked to Michael Giacchino, who is the composer for Rogue One, and he is the composer for a bunch of other stuff, Lost, Star Trek. Oh
yeah, absolutely.
I love the guy. Great music. He did Star Tours.
Oh yeah,
he did the Star Tours music. So, yeah, I'm super excited for that. I kind of thought he was gonna do the music for Force Awakens. He didn't. But yeah, no, definitely cool. He doesn't. I don't want to read the whole article. It's super long, but he says some interesting stuff about the feeling of the music a little bit, and then he talks. He gave an impression of his feelings of the movie. He said, quote, "It is a film that is in many ways a really great World War II movie, and I love that about it. But it also has this huge, huge heart at the center of it, and that was the one thing I just didn't want to discount. Yes, it's an action movie, and it's a Star Wars film, and it has all the things that you would come to expect and love about that. But I didn't want to forget that it was also an incredibly emotional movie as well." So, Michael Giacchino, he did the soundtrack for Up as well, so he knows how to play with your heartstrings a little bit. Yeah, that's interesting to me.
I agree. I'm really interested in seeing how this movie has that heart that he talked about.
Yeah. I'm a little bit, I can see where it might come in because the little stuff we know about Jyn and her father, that stuff's kind of interesting. But right now, from all the trailers and stuff, I just don't know how invested I'm going to be with these characters, but we'll see. Entertainment Weekly also had a discussion with Anthony, shush.
Jesus,
Anthony. All right, jeez. They also had a discussion with Kathleen Kennedy, producer over at Lucasfilm. And again, not going to read the whole article, but here's a couple of excerpts that I thought were very interesting. Quote, "The biggest question of all after the new trilogy ends with episode 9 in 2019, will a new trilogy begin? Or does the annual release of a Star Wars film become a litany of standalones, only occasionally threading back together the way the Marvel movies do?" Quote, "That's a conversation going on right now," Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy says. "I have to honestly tell you, could we do nothing but standalones? Sure, but I don't know. We're looking at all of that." Quote, end quote. Gauging audience reaction to Rogue One will be as critical as Lucasfilm evaluates how different it can get with these standalone films from the traditional traditions of this trilogy or saga films. Quote, "More than likely, we will not have a crawl," end quote. Kennedy says of the iconic floating text that has opened every previous Star Wars movie. Quote, "We feel that is proprietary with the saga films, but how this evolves, we haven't fully decided, and traditional Star Wars elements may be pretty spare for this one," end quote. What do you think of that?
Well, yeah, all the last episodes 1 through 6 so far have been trilogy separated by, 20 years or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's
what do you think about
tradition.
the floating, the crawl,
Just
the
having-
opening crawl? You know, like that.
Mm-hmm. What'd she say? She's thinking of
So
changing it or keeping it, or
more than likely they're not going to have an opening crawl for the movie. What do you think of that?
I don't know. Personally, I think they should keep it.
I was hearing people discuss this online, and I think they made a good point. A lot of people seem to think that this is going to continue the story of The Force Awakens. I'm not sure about that. I've only heard a couple of people say that, but they said that might be a valuable tool if they're going to be doing that, because it would get people in the theater to know what's going on when they first enter. Why is Kylo Ren not here? What happened to Rey? Where's BB-8? I want to see BB-8. So, but for the fans, it's going to be obvious. But I don't know. We'll see. All right. So, Variety also talked to Kathleen Kennedy. She said some interesting stuff as well. She talked about the new Han Solo standalone film. She said, quote, "This moves closer to a heist or Western type feel," says Kennedy. Quote, "We talked about Frederick Remington and those primary colors that are used in his paintings, defining the look and feel of the film," end quote. So that's pretty interesting. What do you think about
this be a standalone Han Solo movie?
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not hear about this one.
You didn't hear about that?
No, not at all. When is this coming?
This is coming out, 2018, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus, they're doing the Marvel approach.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's Disney.
Well, yeah. So I don't know if you've heard, but just to catch you up to speed.
Yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich, he was cast as Han Solo.
Okay.
And then Donald Glover was cast as Lando Calrissian. So.
Oh, I think I might have heard about that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a rumor. I didn't know that it was going to be an actual.
No, that's confirmed.
movie.
That is confirmed.
Okay.
Actually,
interesting.
We have one more little piece of news about the Han Solo movie. Emilia Clarke, she joins the Han Solo standalone film. So, congratulations, Emilia.
She'll be playing Chewbacca.
She will. She will be playing Chewbacca.
So, I'm excited.
She's gonna be playing. She's gonna be playing Watto. She's gonna be like, "Hey, Han Solo!" So that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited for that. Emilia, she's gonna do a really good hunt. She's gonna do a really good Watto. So good job, Amelia. Let's see. All right, so Rogue One, they released a bunch of 30-second ads for Rogue One, a Star Wars story. We're not going to watch all of them. There's just too many. And then they also released a Living in Star Wars, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, on their UK channel, so you can check those out if you want. I'm a little bit skeptical about all of these 30-second ads. I feel like they're kind of diluting the experience and the mystique around it.
Yeah, I mean, if people are going to look at all of the trailers that they give out, that could be an issue.
Yeah. I don't know. I just it's just, I don't know. I haven't been watching any of them. I don't really care about most of them.
Well, I haven't been paying attention to too many of the trailers, so maybe I haven't exposed myself to too much at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we kind of already know the general plot. They're trying to steal the plans for the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that,
I mean, we assume, but
we assume. Other than that, I really have no idea what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
Other than general character analysis that people have done.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think I know a fair bit. But yeah, no, I think they need to stop releasing all these 30-second ads. And I know they got to put it in front of stuff, but some of them haven't been too revealing. It's mostly just reused footage, but there's been a couple that are like, because they showed a shot of a planet being destroyed, and it was like, okay, well, what are we doing here? But yeah, so it doesn't have the same mystique for me as
yeah, you don't want to
Force
give
Awakens.
away the entire movie.
I'm a little bit worried because in Force Awakens going into that movie, right? I didn't know anything about it, and I was actually kind of worried going into the movie because I thought I was going to hate it. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I think mostly because I wasn't expecting anything in the movie, and it was a surprise to me. So
I'd probably say the same.
yeah. All right, so that is it for the news.
Cool.
Normally, this would be where we read some fan mail, but since this is the first episode, we don't have any fan mail. You can email us, though, at talkintuskens@gmail.com, and we will answer your questions on the show. All right, so next segment, Michael here. He
Got a
hasn't
fun
seen
segment.
He hasn't seen the Clone Wars.
No.
So
I'm not.
we're gonna take every episode. Michael is gonna watch a new episode of the Clone Wars, and this week he's gonna watch the Star Wars: The Clone Wars movie. This is Michael's Clone Wars Corner.
We recording?
Michael, so you just watched the Clone Wars movie.
I did.
So give us a little bit of a rundown of the plot.
Oh, it's going to take a little bit, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, so Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting battle droids on a planet. Anakin gets a new apprentice, and during the Clone Wars, Jabba the Hutt's son gets kidnapped, and the entire thing is blamed on the Jedi. Therefore, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and his new apprentice, Anakin's new apprentice, Ahsoka, have to prove the innocence of the Jedi by rescuing Jabba's son and paving the way for the Republic to use Jabba's space during the Clone Wars. Oh my god, so this movie is shit. It's just bad. It's the dialogue between all the characters is the corniest I've ever seen. It's so cringeworthy in a few places. So much comic relief.
What do you like about the movie?
It had an impressive length of time, for sure. I like the animation style. I think it's interesting. I like the music. It's definitely Star Wars. And that's about it. What the fuck is going on? It's like coming apart.
What did you do to my copy of the Clone Wars?
Oh, here we go. It's I got it. There we go.
Okay, cool.
What am I talking about at this point again? I'm sorry.
What did you dislike about the movie?
Well, let me tell you, the plot is about 2.5 hours long of 3 or 4 different things going on at once. If anything, that's probably what this movie suffers from the most, is that you have... well, normally in a Star Wars movie, I'd say you have 2 stories going on at once, side by side.
Sometimes 3.
Sometimes. It may be more. This has way too many. It is just one story to the next to a splinter of that, and it's cutting back to so many different locations constantly, which I guess happens in a normal Star Wars movie, but for some reason this one was just so hard to keep up with. The dialogue sucks. It's mainly through Ahsoka and Anakin where the dialogue really starts hurting, because their back and forth conversation is as if they've known each other for 15 years. Yeah, exactly. They have this rapport after only knowing each other for literally 5 seconds. For some reason, I didn't really enjoy the whole Jabba's son is taken, go find him, bring him back. It almost felt like, maybe I've just been playing too many video games lately, but it felt like I was watching someone do a run through of some mission in a game where they had to get something and then bring it back.
It's like a fetch quest.
A fetch quest, essentially, is what it was. And also, Jabba's son was kind of part of the comic relief. So almost every scene with him was some joke about him being this stinky slug, which I got tired of. So you know what? Hey, it got 3.5 stars on Netflix. I think that's generous. In terms of the entire Clone Wars watching experience, I think the only thing that this movie really adds to the Clone Wars series is the introduction of Anakin to his new Padme. And
To his new Padme.
excuse me.
Woo woo woo.
Okay.
Rewind that one.
Anyway, that's my Clone Wars corner. So you can expect this kind of enthusiasm and excitement every week.
All right. Are you excited for
Fucking
5
terrible.
more seasons of this?
If it's anything like the movie, no.
All right. So that was Michael's
Yep.
Clone Wars corner.
Oh boy, what a movie.
What a movie.
Jesus.
All right. So the topic of the show this week, Michael.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that?
I'm ready. Okay, what is the topic of the show?
Ray's parents.
Ah, jeez.
Ray's parents. All right. So this is a big discussion from Star Wars: The Force Awakens. This has been on everybody's mind. Who's Ray's parents? Who is Ray's parents?
Who is it?
Who is it?
I don't know. Do you?
Who is it? Michael, I would like you to go first. What's your theory about who are Ray's parents?
Ray's parents. Okay. Well, during the movie, that was a question kind of burning on my mind because we learned that Kylo Ren was the son of Han Solo, right? Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen the movie in a little while, but thinking back, I kind of got the impression that maybe she was left on Jakku. I don't know how that really relates to this. Sorry, but I thought that she was like maybe the sister. I'm sorry. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that she's the sister of Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's the offspring of Han and Leia. And I kind of wondered if she was the daughter of Luke, but I didn't really see anything that supported that.
Right.
Well, actually, perhaps there was. I mean, I guess this could go with Leia or Luke, but her attraction to through the Force to Anakin's lightsaber, which I didn't really expect to see in the movie. Mm-hmm. I thought it was kind of cool, but I thought that because she had that attraction, or that connection in the Force with that lightsaber, that somehow she was connected through a family bond with Anakin. And I think somebody said, or there have been some stories that Anakin might have been the offspring of the Force.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. Well, I was thinking that...
Well, so in a Darth Plagueis novel that came out, this is technically not canon anymore. It's Legends. But in a Darth Plagueis novel, at the end, Palpatine and Darth Plagueis... they shoot a
Force seed.
Seed into the sky, and it lands in. Now I haven't read the book, so I don't know if this is accurate, but good old Shmi Skywalker. It lands in her, and it impregnates her, and that's how we get little Annie. So, little Annie.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe she's also a product of the Force.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Are you telling me that Kylo Ren and Snoke, they shot their seed out into the space, and that gave birth to Rey?
How old is Kylo Ren?
I don't know. He's like 28 or something. I don't know.
So when he was 5 years old, he got together with Snoke and was like, "This is what we're doing.
Maybe
I'm on board." Hey,
possible.
maybe.
Hey,
it is possible.
Well, I wanted to give my theory.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
So there's a lot of speculation about. You hold that for me. There's a lot of speculation about Rey's parents, like I said before. But I wanted to analyze each theory that I've heard and sort of dismiss it. So, what I would like from Star Wars Episode 8 is, let me paint you a little picture here, all right?
All right.
I would enjoy a story where Rey doesn't have a parent, and it's just sort of like she is just she's just special because she was born. She doesn't have to be connected to anybody. She doesn't have to be a Skywalker. She doesn't have to be anything.
Sure, that'd be kind of nice.
Unfortunately, this is sort of not the narrative that is going on with Star Wars right now, because they said that the Star Wars story will continue the story of the Skywalkers, and that could just mean the Kylo story, but they make such a big deal about Rey and Rey's parentage that there's really no chance, I think, personally, that she's not a Skywalker, or her parent doesn't have some sort of thing. So, for the sake of argument, let's just assume that Rey is a Skywalker, meaning that she has to come from either Han and Leia or Luke and whoever. Mara Jade, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're going to
Perhaps. Have they made reference to that in the movie?
No, they haven't.
Okay.
So the thing is, people are going to hate me for this, because the popular theory is that it's Luke's daughter, and but I don't think this is the case at all. I think that the Luke theory is overrated, simply because why they would have to introduce the wife of Luke Skywalker in the movie. They would have to introduce it. So let's say Rey gets told that Luke is her father. Well, we have to know who the mother is, so they have to introduce the mother, and then I don't know. Luke, he's gonna follow the Jedi way, all right, Michael. He's got to follow the Jedi.
I guess he's
the path of the Jedi. He's not gonna have a kid, all right. It just doesn't work.
So he's got to hide his kid on a planet and leave her behind, right?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that he would hide her on a planet, and then the Bloodline novel actually sort of supports this theory, because Leia, she says that like Kylo Ren is still around after Rey would have been born. Rey is born. Rey would have been too old for when Kylo Ren actually turned to the dark side, for Luke to just be like, well, I'm going to leave this kid on this planet or whatever to protect her. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either, because apparently, according to the Bloodlines, and I might be getting this wrong, but I think it's like 4 or 6 years between Force Awakens and Bloodlines. So that just wouldn't make sense with the timeline. But the reason I think it's Han and Leia is something I don't hear very often. Han and Leia, right?
Really?
The Millennium Falcon, okay? It's on Jakku, right?
Yeah.
Rey is on Jakku. They're about a mile apart on Jakku, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're both kind of owned by Unkar Plutt. Now, what are the odds of both the Millennium Falcon and Rey being on Jakku?
Hey, it's a small galaxy, friend.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's a really, really
It's
small
a really
galaxy.
small galaxy.
But the only thing I can think, the only explanation I can think of, is Rey was on the Millennium Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Rey got lost, or the Millennium Falcon got lost on Jakku. Han Solo's been looking for it for 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
In the movie, he even says that, I've been looking for the Falcon forever. Who stole the Falcon from me?
Yeah, that was a little vague, but yeah, you make a point.
And then that's not it. Han, for some reason, the sort of scoundrel who's, kind of a loner or whatever, he's super nice to Rey, and he even asks her to join her or his crew right away.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It doesn't.
He's a loner, he's a scoundrel, whatever. So that eliminates a lot of these. I've heard that she's also the daughter of Palpatine. She's also the daughter of Obi-Wan. But these don't really make any sense in terms of the age, because unless Palpatine had
the daughter of Obi-Wan.
Yeah, unless Palpatine had a kid that also had another kid, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for it to be Palpatine. And then Obi-Wan, he'd have to have a wife as well. And then they would have to have another child, and then they would have to have Rey.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense. But another thing about the Han and Leia thing, I don't know if you remember this, but on Takodana, which is Maz Kanata's planet, right? Mm-hmm. Han says, well, Han is talking to Rey, and then Rey leaves, and Maz Kanata says to Han, "So who's the girl?" And then you'll also notice earlier in the movie, Kylo Ren says, "What girl?" And this isn't canon necessarily, but in the Lego Star Wars video game, right? This is gonna be dorky. This is super dorky. I'm sorry. He says, I forget exactly what he says, but when he's fighting Rey, he says, "So you are her," or something like that, which is like, what? So that makes me think that she has some sort of connection. I don't know. That's just my theory. I think people are blowing the Luke thing way out of proportion. So, but that might just be me. So, do you have anything to add, or
I think there's one alternative that we are completely forgetting.
What's that?
Well, who's the one character that, without a doubt, looks exactly like her father, like the guy who would definitely be her father?
Watto.
Exactly. See, no, I doubt that anyone's
that was actually what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, I think there was actually a love triangle between Watto, Lando Calrissian, and a young Lando Calrissian.
Oh, okay. So you're saying
Luke.
Donald Glover and Billy D. Williams.
Yeah. And then
they had that Colt 45 deal or whatever, and
they had the Colt 45 deal. Things got out of hand.
Yeah.
And here we are.
That'd be pretty cool. I've heard Snoke is he's actually Mace Windu. So there you go. Anyways, that was our show. Thank you for watching.
Thanks a lot.
Subscribe to us if you want. Whatever. Actually, if you have any Rey theories, we're doing a special giveaway. Put your Rey theory in the comments, and we'll give you a 1-month subscription to Star Wars The Old Republic. This is not a 1-month subscription to Star Wars The Old Republic. This is a 2,400 cartel coins.
And that was an absolute
card,
lie.
But we will be giving you a code. They don't sell...
Well, you can do 2,400 cartel coins. You can get a month's worth of fun out of that.
You can get... You know what? You can, but we're not actually giving this away. This isn't what we're giving away. We're giving $15 Star Wars subscription. Sorry. We're giving a 1-month subscription to Star Wars The Old Republic. We're not giving away this, but this is what they had at the store when I went and bought this. They don't have the cards for the 1-month subscription.
The viewers shouldn't be picky. They can they'll get what they can get.
Yeah. You know what? Listen. You better believe that this is going to be what you get. All right? This is all you get.
This is as good as it gets.
This is as good as it gets. You're going to go listen to some other podcast. You're going to go listen to Jar Jar's journalism. No. Listen. $15 worth of subscription for Star Wars The Old Republic. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Michael, for holding my whiteboard there.
Welcome, Zach. I'm happy to do it anytime.
Yeah. All right. We will see you next time. Thank you for listening. Bye.